Everyone, and welcome to another video with a project created for the Graphic 45 design team. It's a notebook with this original spine where you can see the inside signatures of the notebook. For creating the notebook, I used the deluxe paper collection, which is called Steampunk Debutante, and I still haven't used the tags, but I will use them in the future projects. So this is the notebook. As you can see, there are some dimensional elements here on the cover, and this is the closure of the book. This is the back, and this is the back of the notebook, and I've added some beads here to the spine for some additional interest. The book is opened with the help of the hitch fastener, and it opens like that. It has two pockets on the inside front and back covers, and each of the pockets currently holds two tags. These are the first two ones, and this is the second pair. As you can see, the signatures are made using plain printing paper, and I've added craft cardstock for dividers. I've embellished dividers quite flat using the cutouts from the paper and some additional die cuts to match the steampunky theme of the paper collection. So this is the first divider, and the second, the fourth, and the fifth, the third, the fourth, the fifth, sixth, seventh, and the eighth. So these are the dividers, and the notebook has 14 signatures. The kind of binding that I used is called the buttonhole stitch binding, and I used a very comprehensive and good tutorial from another person here on YouTube. I will link her tutorial in the description down below. So I will be showing you how I created mine. If you're interested to have a look, just keep on watching this video and we will create this together. So let's create the signatures first. I already have them, and there are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 14 signatures. Each one has 5 stacked sheets of printing paper folded in half. So this is exactly what you do first. You stack 5 sheets of printing paper together, and let's imagine I have 5 here. Then you hold them tight with your fingers, and you make the corners here meet, and once the corners are aligned, you hold the whole stack here in the middle with your finger here on top, and then you just burnish the fold here with your fingers, and after this with the bone folder, okay, to create a good fold. So these will be your signatures. You will create 14 of these, and then you will take 4 pieces of 12 by 12 inch paper, in whatever color of the cardstock that you want to use for your project. And you will trim the 12 by 12 paper sheet to 8¼ inch by 11¾ and you will fold it in half in the same way as you did with the printing paper, or you can use your scoring board as well, but since it's only one paper sheet, I find it more precise folding in the old-fashioned way without using the tools. So once everything is done, you will put this stack on the working surface and you will slightly push on top with your hand, not too tight, just a little bit, to make it more straight, and then you will measure how thick the spine of your book will be. So in my case it's 1 inch, and I think that if you're going to use the printing paper for the pages, you will have the same thickness of the spine, because the cardstock sheets don't add too much to the thickness of the spine. Okay, so set the signatures aside for now. Oh yeah, you will add those cardstock pieces for the separators or dividers in every third of the signatures. That way you will have a nice pattern. So now we will set these aside and we will work on the cover. For the cover you will need 2 pieces of chipboard, which measure 8�3/8 inch by 6 inches, and 2 more pieces, which are, let me put this down, which are 1 inch by 2 1/8 of an inch. Okay, 2 pieces, and this is the second piece of the cover. So this is how it will be placed on the wrapping cardstock. And for wrapping the cover, you will need a piece of cardstock. I'm using here craft color, and I've got my 12 by 12 sheet to the 12 inches by 9�3/8 inch, and then the piece which was left I trimmed to 9�3/8 inch, added a strip of score tape to the side, and now I will be connecting 2 of these together in order to start and wrap the cover in this cardstock. So let me quickly do that. I will remove the backing from the score tape, and I will attach this piece to the longer one. Like so. Now let's burnish. Okay, and now to make sure that I'm placing the covers straight, I will draw a guideline on this sheet of paper. I'm sorry. And the guideline will be 1/2 inch away from the bottom edge of the cardstock, and also 1/2 inch away from the left edge of this cardstock. Okay, now I know where to start and place my covers. I will be using glue, liquid glue, but you can use runner glue or any other type of adhesive that you like to work with. So I'm using the guidelines in order to help myself and place the chipboard piece straight on the cardstock. Now let's burnish from the front side as well. Great. Now we will add these two pieces, and we will also need to leave the spacing between the tiny pieces of chipboard and one of the cover pieces. And in order to do that, I will use the large cover piece here. How I place them: here at the bottom, I'm still using the guideline. Okay, and I'm placing it like this. So I have the spacing which is equal to the thickness of the chipboard that I'm working with. Then I just feel more comfortable to flip it, and well, I will eyeball right now that spacing that I should leave between. Or you can once again use the same piece. Just make sure that you are aligning this tiny piece with the edge of the first cover, which is already glued onto the cardstock. Now let's burnish and flip to the front side and burnish from here as well. Okay, so now I think I will just take another piece of the same chipboard. I'm so sorry for my coughing. Okay, let's glue this piece down as well. I will be using just a scrap of the chipboard. Okay, like this. Great. Now, when we have this done, we will need to wrap the cover. As you can see, we have 1/2 inch border from all the 4 sides of the cover. Now let's trim the corners. And this is something new that I made from chipboard. It's called a Corner-matic tool. It is also sold, and it is made from plastic, obviously, but I made it from chipboard once again, and it helps to create the perfectly mirrored corners when you are wrapping the covers of the notebooks and mini albums. So this is the first time that I'm using it. I will just try to see how it goes. I could also eyeball it, but you know, I wanted to try why people need this tool, so I created it myself. Let's see how it works. We will now train our paper to wrap the way we want it to wrap, and here on the sides as well. Now we will apply some score tape along the 4 sides, and like this here, and here. here. Okay, now we are ready to wrap. We'll remove the backing and start from the middle, working towards the sides. And I'm kind of pulling the paper towards myself. Then let's burnish. Let's do the same from the second long side of the cover. Burnish. Burnish on the edges as well to create nice straight edges on the cover. Okay, now let's wrap the sides. And before we wrap the sides, we want to tuck in those corners and then wrap the cardstock. Like this. And from this side as well. Like that. Burnish and burnish. Great. Now let's find the folds. Okay, so this is what we have so far. Now we will need to create that opening here, and in order to do that, you will do the following. First, you will cut the line here just inside, which will be about half, for if you feel more convenient. Draw the guidelines, which are half an inch away from the edges of the small pieces, small spinal pieces here in the middle. Okay, and then the cut line will be here in the middle of this empty piece of cardstock, like this. And now from the corner to the cut line, you will cut like this. Okay, so now when you have this done, what we will do is we will fold the cardstock pieces like so, and for this purpose we will use once again the score tape. Remove the backing and glue those to the score tape. Then you can burnish from the outside like this. The same thing here. And burnish. And now these tiny pieces, I like to burnish them first, because then it's easier to fold them and glue them down from the back side. Okay, so here I think I will use the wet glue for gluing them down and not the score tape, because the area is quite small. Burnish, burnish, burnish. Okay, like this. Here we go. Okay, so this is the base of our notebook cover. Okay, now you will need additional paper piece in cardstock, in craft cardstock, which measures 8¼ by 3 inches, and we will add it here to the spine. Before doing that, please add the score tape in these areas, not quite till the edge of the top and the bottom of the cover, but try to be quite close. Okay, like so. And then when you add the score tape here to the folds, you will also add additional pieces here around the window that we've created earlier. And also try to stay as close to the outlines of the window as you can. Okay, this is what you will have here on the cover. And now I will be adding the score tape to this cardstock piece on all of the 4 sides of it. And once done, we are ready to attach it to the cover. So we will remove the backing from the score tape. Then I will be adding just a little bit of glue here on the spine in the areas where there is no score tape. Okay, like this. Now let's glue this piece down while centering it like this, and burnish really, really nice. From the front side as well. Okay, now let's gently find the folds. Like this, but don't fold them yet all the way. Just find them and mark them gently. Now take your precision knife and cut out that window, trying to stay really, really close to the edges of the window that we have. Like this. Now we can take this piece out. Okay, like this. And right now you can increase the folds with more strength, and look at your almost ready cover of the notebook. We will bind the signatures onto the cover using the buttonhole stitch binding method, and we will add the beads to these areas, and then we will embellish the cover. Next, you will take your cover and distress all the edges from the inside and outside of it using the distress ink, and I'm using here the walnut stain. You will also prepare several pieces of the patterned paper that you will use on top of your notebook, and two of these measure 8 1/4 by 5 7/8 of an inch, and two of these pieces are 1 inch by 2 inches long. And I've also distressed the edges using the distress ink. So now I'm gonna glue those down to the cover on the front side and on the back side of it, and I will be back. Now I want to attach the metal corners here to the front cover, and then I needed to think about the closure for the book, so I have some idea here in my mind. I hope it will be okay and it will be successful. So as I've already said, let's connect the metal corners here first. I have these ones, and I will be using brads in order to attach them to the cover firm enough so that they don't move, because gluing these especially to the front cover can be a little bit problematic. We want them to be really secure and stay in place, so brads are a good choice. Okay, so I want them to be somewhere here, and now I will just mark the holes for the brads, and then I will poke the holes in the cover. It's quite thick because of the chipboard and the layer of the craft cardstock, as well as an additional layer of designer paper. So let me quickly show you the first one, how we do that, because sometimes I'm getting questions from you asking to show how to work with metal embellishments. But guys, there is no tutorial that I can create on that, because the way you use the metal embellishments depends solely on the metal embellishments. I don't know what kind of metal pieces you have, and how you should attach them. So every time I'm using metal embellishment in my project, you can see the way it is attached to this or that item. But once again, I cannot do a tutorial showing you covering all the possible ways of using the metal items. So this is the way you do you connect the metal corners to the cover right now. So let me just finish that, and I will be back shortly. Okay, so now I have all the 4 attached. I already cut out the elements that I want to use on my cover. I will be distressing those in a while, and then we will start to attach all the embellishments to the cover itself. But before that, let's really take care of the closure once again. To make the closure, I will use this paper strap This is just a plain cardstock folded in several layers. I think 3. I have 3 layers, and the width was dictated by the width of the D-ring that I have here. It's about 3/8 of an inch. So the strap that I prepared, the black one, is also 3/8 of an inch in width, to allow to get easily inside the D-ring. And I will also be using this, I think it's called hitch fastener. These are from Tim Holtz. So I will be attaching this to the back of the cover, and I will be securing it with another brad, but since the ring here is too wide for the brads that I have, and the brad will not be able to hold it in place. As you can see, it just slides in, and that's it. I will be using a circle that I've already punched once again from black cardstock, and I have a hole inside, so I will be attaching the hitch fastener with the help of that circle and a brad. In order to attach the D-ring, of course you will first have to find the center of the cover, and I'm using my Tim Holtz ruler for doing that. If you remember, the size of the covers was 8 3/8 of an inch, so something like 4 inches and 1/8, and a little bit more than that will let us find the middle of the cover here. So I want the D-ring, excuse me, to stand out just a little bit outside the cover, something like that. So if my middle is here, I mean from the top and from the bottom, I want to put the D-ring here in this place. So I will be gluing it down first, and then I will be placing the brad into it. So first I will glue the strap together, and it will already hold the D-ring inside. I've marked here the place where the middle is on the cover. I think you can see the pencil mark there. So I will be adding a little bit more of the glue to the paper strap, and then I will be gluing it down like so to the cover. Alright. I'm not worried about how the paper strap looks right now, because I will be covering it with the cutouts from the paper, so it will be partially concealed and only this part will be seen. So now let's see. We have the fastener, which will slide in, and then we have the thickness of the notebook itself, with the signatures that we are going to add inside. I will allow a little bit more room for the thickness of the book, because I'm going to embellish some dividers inside. So I think the hole that I will be using for the for putting the brad should be somewhere around 1 1/4 of an inch away from the edge of the back cover of the notebook, and I've already marked the center from the left and right here on the back of the cover as well. So I will be poking the hole And then I will be taking that bread that I have. I will be putting the bread inside the punched out circle, and then I will slide it through the hitch fastener, and then I will attach it to the cover and press on the tails of the breads really firmly in order to secure it in place. Okay, so this is how it's gonna be. And now, before we continue, let's make sure that I can really close it. Yeah, I think I can. Okay, so this is how the closure will look like. I think it's okay. I hope it will still be okay when we add the signatures inside. It's really hard to know right now because this is the first time me creating this kind of book. Okay, so now let's secure the paper strap with the D-ring as well with the brad, because the glue only will not help here. We want some secure closure. Okay, so now I'm poking the hole, and I will need to use these brads that I have. As you can see, they are quite short. So for the places where I know that I need something longer because of the thickness of the chipboard and the paper layers that I have, I'm using the long fasteners from Tim Holtz. Yeah, they call long fasteners. So I took one for the front cover. Okay, and now I can open the tails and secure it on the back of the front cover like this. Okay, so now this piece is really secure, and this as well. Nothing is going anywhere, and we can continue working on the cover. All right. By the way, on the inside of the cover, I want to create the pockets. So this one is already glued down, and this one is still unassembled, so I will explain to you what exactly I did. I took several pieces of designer paper, which measure, let me tell you, 8 1/4 inch by 5 7/8. And I've also cut the paper from the sheet which is called the Ephemera Extraordinary. And as you can see, for the pockets, I've cut out the pieces which include 3 rows of these steampunk stamps. So they're about 3 rows in width, which is around 3 inches. And they are about 9.5 inches long. And then I scored a line 1/2 inch away from, well, currently from the right side of this paper piece. I folded it, placed, attached to the designer paper piece that I have, and then if you center it, you will fold the sides like this in order to create your pocket. Okay, so currently I already applied the score tape in order to quickly finish attaching the pocket to the paper mat that I have here, like this and like this. Now let's burnish. Okay, like so. Now you attach these pieces to the inside cover only after you are completely sure that there are no brads or any metal embellishments that you want to put on the cover, because you can see those, all the tails of the brads have to be covered with the paper. So once you are done with embellishing the front cover, I don't know what is the way that you will embellish the cover of your notebook and what is the paper that you are going to use, so just bear that in mind. I'm done currently attaching the metal pieces, so I can at the present stage of the project cover the inside of the notebook with the designer paper like that. Okay, so I will be gluing down these to the cover and I will be back. Here, I glued these down. Let's check. These are the signatures that will go inside. Let's just have a look at it. I think so far so good. Here everything is okay. We are able to close the book. Yeah. Okay, so now, as I already told you, I have these cutouts that I've prepared, so I will be using my distress ink in order to go through all of the edges of all of the cutouts, and I will be distressing them because when you cut out, this edge is I think the core of the paper is disposed, and it's the kind of yellowish base, so I don't want it to be yellowish. I will distress it, and it will be brown, and will be matching the craft cardstock color, the color of the craft cardstock that I'm using for my project, so everything will be matched up. So I will do this process offline, and I will be back once I'm ready to embellish the cover. So I thought that I will embellish the dividers later, but I wanted to use some stamping on the dividers, so I already embellished them. I will show you how I did that. I mean the result. This is the first one, and from the front side of the divider, kind of from the dividers page, I have the embellishments. From the back side, I just stamped some lines if I will want to write something down here. Then this is the second, and once again the lined stamps. Third, fourth. I've used some stamps from the Steampunk Spells paper collection, also by Graphic 45, but since the theme is still steampunky, the stamps matched perfectly, in my opinion, to the Steampunk Debutante collection. This is the next page, dividers page, one more, the 7th, and the 8th. And that's it. So now let's continue with the binding.